There's a unique kind of pain that emerges when you deeply care for someone who has an avoidant attachment style. One moment, everything feels open. You're laughing, bonding, letting walls down. Then suddenly, the warmth disappears. They pull back, and you're left wondering, what did I do to cause this? But a Stoic would remind us, not every reaction is a reflection of us. Their retreat isn't always about your value. It's often a mirror of their inner landscape. That landscape, shaped by fear rather than logic, governs their behavior. Avoidant tendencies don't come from nowhere. They are learned survival tactics. Many of them were raised in emotionally unreliable or detached homes. To survive, they adapted, don't depend on anyone, don't open up too much, always stay in control. As Epictetus said, it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but how we perceive them. So when an avoidant pulls away, it's not love they're rejecting, it's the imagined cost of love they fear. Intimacy, for them, feels like losing armor. They fear being judged, consumed, or ultimately abandoned. As closeness increases, their internal alarm system starts blaring. You, the person they actually like, suddenly carry too much weight. That emotional weight threatens their autonomy, and they recoil. Not because they don't feel, but because those feelings are overwhelming. Early on, they might seem charming, open, even emotionally available. But as emotional depth increases, so does their panic. It's not logical, but Stoicism reminds us, learn to identify what's yours to control and what isn't. Their fear, that's not your burden to carry. They might ghost you, go distant, or turn defensive, sometimes even blame you. But to their subconscious, this feels like safety. They create space to soothe their overwhelm. Yet for someone with an anxious attachment, this back and forth is excruciating. The more connected you feel, the more they retreat. The more you reach, the faster they run. Seneca once said we suffer more in imagination than in reality. But in moments like these, the pain feels undeniably real. Even then, wisdom calls for stillness, not reactivity. They are not trying to hurt you. They are trying to survive vulnerability. To them, intimacy is a risk to the self, a loss of identity. So they do what they've always done, distance. The tragedy is that many avoidants deeply crave connection. But they want it on their terms, safe, risk-free, and low stakes. They may be fully present when things are light, yet vanish the moment depth appears. This isn't manipulation, it's inner conflict. Their minds are divided. Even emotional closeness can feel like entrapment. You might not be asking for much, but even basic connections can seem like a threat to them. So they disappear into silence, distractions, or their work, anything to avoid exposing vulnerability. Yet Stoicism teaches that avoiding discomfort only gives it more power. What feels like relief to them becomes long-term isolation. They live in a contradiction, craving closeness, yet fearing it just as much. And you, the partner, are stuck in emotional limbo. Intimacy, then absence. Connection, then coldness. The cycle is draining. It wears you down. That's why a Stoic must stay grounded. Their withdrawal is not proof of your inadequacy. It's a product of their fear. Don't let their avoidance rob you of your inner peace. Sometimes, just your steady presence can trigger their buried trauma. That's not on you. And as Marcus Aurelius advised, if something can be endured, endure it. If not, don't complain, decide. If being close to them constantly feels like emotional tightrope walking, ask yourself, is this love, or am I accepting emotional neglect disguised as love? You deserve a connection rooted in safety, not fed by anxiety. Avoidance can grow if they are willing. With enough self-awareness, therapy, and courage, they can face their fear of closeness. But that path must be chosen. You can't love them in healing. As the Stoics remind us, growth is earned through effort, not comfort. Love alone can't change someone unwilling to reflect. So if their distance feels like punishment for caring, if you're always initiating, waiting, hoping, remember, your purpose isn't to beg for closeness. It's to live in dignity, clarity, and peace. Let their silence speak. Let their absence tell the story. Healing, like love, must go both ways. Love shouldn't feel like a puzzle. It should feel secure, like the steady heart of a Stoic. So protect your peace. And if you must walk away, do so not with resentment, but with wisdom. If this brought you even a moment of clarity or comfort, take time to reflect on the kind of love you're really seeking. And if you found insight here, consider liking and subscribing. This space exists to help you grow toward peace, strength, and mastery of the self. Until next time, choose virtue over chaos, choose clarity over confusion, and always protect your peace.